You are the chosen one.
Welcome back to Chosen One Studios' Let's Play of Demon's Crest. Today will be the rematch against General Arma. We're starting off in a beautiful ice stage against some skull throwers, familiar old enemy, and some familiar skull piles. But before we go too far, there's one thing we definitely do not want to miss, and that's right up here. That's right, the final urn. We could fly over a majority of this level, since we will be going up, but we'd be missing out on another goodie and some level design. So I'm going to show that off. Now that we can just sort of shoot right over their heads, we can do that. We can just fly up there a little bit, show them that even though they may have gotten a couple of hits off of me, they still can't kill me. But regardless, let's see here, just going to sort of slide along. The aerial gargoyle is really well suited to this stage. Claw would be useful again there, I suppose. Usually not anything too bad, but there are quite a few of those skull pits, which, by the way, function exactly the same as floor spikes. They're not insta-kills or anything, but they still hurt. And I was too busy talking to realize that was happening. So here we are, up in Arma's Ice Fortress. Why Arma has an Ice Fortress is anyone's guess, but here it is. It's another spot where Claw would be useful if you cared. And as for those areas, they're spiky damage. That's an upgrade of the Flame Stick. It's green. One hit still kills it. Just like one hit will still kill those spiders. Gotta be careful for their splash, but overall they're not really so bad to deal with. Let's see here, we want to go... I want to say we want to go left first. And we'll definitely want the Buster. Yep, chose the right direction. So just want to smash through this area a bit. Because we've got another piece of life. Therefore bringing the total we need to 2. Or we'll have 2 complete rows of quite a bit of health. More than hopefully we'll need against anything besides the Dark Demon and Phalanx, who will definitely not be a pushover. This place does require a lot of crest changing, but in honor of Arma, I can deal with it. And it doesn't require you to go Aqua for any reason, so it's not that bad, which, you know, for an ice stage would be fairly suiting. There are ice physics, so you want to be careful. It is slippery, but you can avoid them all entirely by hovering a couple inches off the ground. With a little bit of amusement there. And we do have some more optional platforms, if you want to use them. They're really more there as enemies, and to take up space, though, as this area would be far easier without them, and you can't kill them. Nothing can kill them. Buster, flying, time, ultimate, nothing can hurt them. And you can keep moving their charge shots, their sharp shots around with you if you keep on moving. In fact, here we have a fun little rematch against Flyer, who I have noticed if he's stronger here, he's got a different color scheme, or she's got a different color scheme to her. But we're going to do something a little bit fun here. I'm going to show you one thing I neglected to show you. I tried in the last time we fought Flyer, but I gave up too quickly. It didn't work right off the bat. You can ride Flyer. As long as you're not on the spiky part of the carapace, you can ride Flyer around. And in fact, it's kind of fun. But it's really not worth it. There. Come on, Flyer. Yeah, sorry. I'm more concerned about showing off the riding mechanic there. It's still gonna die for us fairly quickly here. And in fact, I think it's got like another 2 hits on it tops. That would have probably hurt a little bit, but we don't even have to worry about that anymore now, as he burns up. And leaves us with a full heal, which I desperately needed. So I couldn't have asked for better timing there. Now here is another torch stage. only the normal fire, only actually fire abilities can light this area. So if you decide to go after the demon fire first, that will make this area a little bit easier as far as dealing damage, but honestly, it's not that much of an inconvenience to just switch back for 5 seconds. If you light these guys on fire, they stay on fire, they sort of spread out. I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. They're sort of like oil, which I've seen some playthroughs of Oil Man stage. I don't have a PSP, but that sort of reminds me of what they were thinking of there. You want to keep at least 2 torches lit at any given time, because as long as there are 2 torches lit in the general vicinity, and they do go out incredibly quickly, the bats won't wake up. Oh, and down here we have a different kind of trap. It's a combination of just a normal spike pit trap and zombie hands from Belt's level. Just for the sake of it. Claw can do some damage. It's weak damage. Bats are rather weak enemies to kill. They're more the pest kind of enemies than the kind that you're afraid of because they take a lot of hits. I'm letting it get dark a little bit too. That's interesting. You really don't even need to worry about it being well lit if you know the area, which I do, but I'm trying to show this game off, so... Well, I could get through here, and as you'll see, they will reach up. I'd rather show off the area, but there's one little thing we forgot to get, which I unfortunately forget too often. If you get stuck in there as the normal gargoyle, it can be a little bit of a pain to get out. This is a little bit bad. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I know that wasn't very fun to watch. But it is a good demonstration of why you want to be careful in this spot. And again, a demonstration that the bats, even though if they kept attacking you, you wouldn't be able to keep relighting the flames, they're far more afraid of the fire than they are of you. Or rather, than they are hungry, which I guess is a good thing for us. Just want to keep that well lit. After it's all burned up, it does go away, so that's nice. And over here, we have armor, which is pretty darn useful. And I think it's got a nice little picture there, too. I'll equip that for a bit. It's not as flashy, but I'm hoping that I'll get hit again so I can show off one of the mechanics that armor adds before we get to Mr. Talisman, who will have explained it. Of course, who else would explain the Talisman for us? I do see now what Spidery One was thinking. The claw could be really fun. It's more just a matter of efficiency. In a game that has the aerial gargoyle, what's the point? But as you can see, when they hit me, I get this little N instead of taking a full point of damage, which is because the armor crest increases your strength. But we're going to switch back to this. We're going to keep armor on, because just in case our old friend Armor gets a hit on me, I don't want it to hurt too bad. He gets his last little laugh in. You'll notice he looks a lot more badass this time. He's got a darker coloration, he's got a little couple of claws on his wings, his shoulders look buffer, he's definitely his toughest form. This is our final meeting. You shall go no further. I will destroy you or die trying, he says. But his problem is that now, the thing that made this battle stretch on, he could fly out of our path, is no longer a problem. Now that I have the aerial gargoyle, his every attack pattern is a joke. As I told you before, Hurricane is nothing now. I can just fly right over it. It does still buff me around when I'm just jumping in the air, but it can't hurt me. Well, it can't control my movements. Sorry, that battle's not very exciting. I'll try and bring him down here. I generally fight him for the majority of it down off screen, but he seems to really want to show up. So he's doing his old little attack wave there, still using his hurricane. He has one more attack he adds in this battle, which has a pretty cool little picture to it. There we go. The Crescent Dragon, I call it. He sometimes will get it off if you get too close to him. But since his area gives you, well, some pretty potent armor, it shouldn't really be a threat. You just duck down, fly back up. He will always aim it at wherever you are right then, so it's not really that bad. It doesn't correct, it just spirals out of control, so I think it breaks against walls. Yep, cool little spark animation. He's obviously really wanting to win this battle, and I do feel bad for the guy, but he lights himself on fire. Well, he lights on fire. You do possess incredible power, Firebrand. My power is now yours. Let me seal it within this crest. And we see a crest swirling around him and absorbing Arma's very essence. This crest? This is the crest of time! We don't get any kind of Prince of Persia mechanic, but you can morph into the legendary gargoyle, and your skin shall become like iron and decrease the damage done to you by half. So with the armor talisman equipped, you're pretty much unkillable. And let's go back into town to have him tell us a little bit about the legendary gargoyle, and maybe a little bit about our new talisman.